Let's be real. For most of us, buying a home is the single biggest purchase we will ever make. It's exciting, sure, but it's also a little terrifying. And we just assume that once we get those keys, that home is ours. But what if I told you there's a hidden guardian working behind the scenes to make sure that assumption is actually true? Understanding who they are is absolutely key to protecting your biggest investment.
It's a kind of a jarring question, isn't it? I mean, you've signed a mountain of papers, you've moved all your stuff in, but ownership? It's not always as simple as a handshake and a key. See, every property has a history, and sometimes that history can come back to haunt you.
Just think about all the things that could go wrong. A contractor who never got paid by a previous owner could put a lien on your house. A surprise heir could pop up with a claim to the property. Or what about a forged signature on a deed from 50 years ago? These things, they're called title defects, and they can create an absolute legal nightmare that could, believe it or not, cost you your home.
So how in the world do you protect yourself from the ghosts of a property's past? Well, luckily, you don't have to. There's an entire industry that steps in to act as a guardian for what is, again, probably your largest financial asset. Long before you ever sit down at the closing table, these folks are doing some serious detective work. They're digging through public records, hunting for those hidden risks, and working to clear them up. All of this happens so that when you finally sign on the dotted line, you can be confident that the property you're buying is truly yours.
And right at the heart of this whole industry, there's one central organization. It's the group that sets the standards, provides the tools, and speaks for thousands of these professionals all across the country.
Okay, so this is important to get straight. The American Land Title Association, or ALTA, isn't an insurance company itself. Think of it more like the support system for the entire industry. It's the trade association that makes sure every title professional has what they need to protect property owners just like you.
And they have been at this for a very long time. ALTA was founded way back in 1907. I mean, we're talking about a time when property records were literally kept in dusty old ledger books. So it's pretty incredible that they've guided this industry all the way from that era into the crazy digital age we live in now.
And when we say ALTA's reach is vast, we mean it. Their membership covers the whole spectrum, from the small, local title agent in your hometown all the way up to the massive national underwriters. That diversity is exactly what allows them to be the one unifying voice for such a critical part of the real estate world.
So what does ALTA actually do for all these members? And, by extension, for homeowners? The best way to think about it is that they provide a really comprehensive toolkit for protection. This is really the foundation of everything. ALTA creates the standardized insurance policy forms, which means protection is consistent no matter where you're buying a house. They set up best practices to make sure every closing is handled safely and securely. And they offer tons of training to keep all these professionals on top of their game. At the end of the day, it all adds up to a safer, more predictable experience for you, the homebuyer. Of course, protecting property rights today isn't just about digging through old, dusty records anymore. The threats have gone digital, and boy, are they sophisticated. This scam is terrifying because it's so effective. Just imagine, a fraudster steals the identity of someone who owns a vacant lot, or maybe a rental property. They put it up for sale, find a buyer, and then try to disappear with all the cash from the sale before the real owner even has a clue what's happened. And this is where ALTA's modern role is just so critical. They are on the front lines fighting crimes like wire fraud, which costs people hundreds of millions of dollars every single year. They're giving their members the resources to spot the red flags for that and for seller impersonation, and they're also helping them navigate these really complex financial crime rules to stop things like money laundering.
Okay, so ALTA's work isn't just about internal stuff like standards and fraud prevention. They also take the fight to Washington, D.C. and state capitals, advocating for policies that protect the entire real estate market.
And this is their mission, straight from the source. They work directly with lawmakers and regulators to make sure the rules that govern real estate deals are fair, that they're effective, and that they ultimately protect the consumer.
Here's a perfect example. Right now, there's a big debate over something called a title waiver pilot. So normally when you get a mortgage, there are two title policies, an owner's policy that protects you and a lender's policy that protects the bank. This new pilot program is proposing to just get rid of that lender's policy for certain kinds of refinances.
Well, ALTA has come out swinging against this idea. They're arguing that, yeah, it might look like you're saving a little bit of money up front, but what you're really doing is removing a crucial layer of protection. If some old title issue suddenly pops up, the lender is left exposed, and the homeowner's own equity could be in jeopardy. It could be a financial disaster for everybody.
And their advocacy work even ties into national security. Alta is deeply involved in helping its members deal with these complicated FinCEN rules that are designed to stop criminals from using all-cash real estate deals as a way to launder dirty money.
So, where does this all go from here? I mean, the world of real estate is changing so fast, and ALT is really focused on figuring out what comes next. Think about it. Digital closings are quickly becoming the new normal. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is about to completely change how title searches are even done. And with all this personal data flying around, privacy is a bigger deal than ever. ALTA is right in the middle of all of it, trying to help the industry adapt in a responsible way.
So let's bring it all back home. When you buy a property, you're not just buying some land and a building. You're buying what's called a bundle of rights. And the work that Alta and all of its members do is to make sure that bundle of rights is safe and secure. That's what gives you the peace of mind to truly call that house your home.
And that really is the critical question for the next decade, isn't it? As these deals move faster and get way more complex, the role of an organization that sets the standards and advocates for safety becomes even more vital. The real challenge is going to be making sure the rules of this new digital road provide the same, if not better, protection than the paper world they're replacing.